I didn't show you a brain part that's very important. We have the rational processing, we have the limbic system. With time, we will feed into a system that's called the basal ganglia. That's a system where all your experience goes. The first time you learn how to drive a car, you do it with your prefrontal cortex. You have to think about what you do. You think, I have to push this button, and with my right leg I do this, and you can't talk to anybody while you're doing it because you're fully concentrating with all your attention on driving. After a while, after you've driven 1,000 miles, you drive with your basal ganglia. You can talk on the phone while you drive, you can eat while you drive, at least you think so. You can listen to music while you drive. You can do lots of things while you drive because you're not driving with the prefrontal cortex anymore, you're driving with your basal ganglia. After certain years in the business, you have lots of experience in here. You will be able to perform a lot of tasks that your younger colleagues are performing with their prefrontal cortex. You do it with your basal ganglia. That's what being an expert means. That's what experience means. So under pressure, your prefrontal cortex might be knocked out. You're stressed, but your basal ganglia kick in, and they do the job so much better. There's actually research that show that experts perform better under pressure because their basal ganglia, they have some kind of intuition, intuitive wisdom. So you take better intuitive decisions when you're an expert. Rather than thinking too much, you should take a quick gut decision, and it will be a better quality than if you were thinking too long. But you might have young people on your team. They don't have all that knowledge in here. You put them under stress, they will try to perform with their prefrontal cortex. There's nothing in here or just the wrong stuff, and they will do whatever. And there are organizations where people are working under constant threat. Like, think the military, think fire patrol people, emergency doctors. What do these organizations do? They train and train and train people to death. It's called overlearning in scientific terms. They make sure everybody has the same standard operation procedures in the basal ganglia. The moment your enemy comes, you pull out your gun and you shoot in one certain way. You don't need 20 creative ways to shoot your enemy. You have one way of how you do it and you get it done. Doesn't matter if your prefrontal cortex is still on or not, you do it with your basal ganglia. In milliseconds, you take your decisions. When you're more experienced, it might seem to other people that you're more to the right, but it's actually just the fact that things don't stress you as much anymore because you know you have that experience in your basal ganglia, and you don't need to involve your prefrontal cortex as much anymore. But you might be acting under arousal. You do it under your experience and you solve that situation quickly. That's something people have to learn, but you will never move somebody from the left to the right. It's just that when you have more experience in your basal ganglia, it will appear that you moved to the right, but you didn't.